Hey writers, it's Mr. Marshall. How are you? I am coming to you today because I heard that you are doing some new kind of writing coming soon. You're going to be starting something called informational writing, right? Informational writing is the kind of writing that sometimes we call nonfiction, but informational writing has a really important job. It's the kind of writing that teaches people stuff. It teaches people stuff, right? And so sometimes people that are writing informational writing have the same kind of problem as people that write stories. They're just not sure what to write about. Okay. So, what I want to show you right now is how you can use some of the things that you did when you were writing stories to write informational writing. Okay. So, take a look at this. Um, Remember this? Some of you may have used this in your class when you were writing stories. This is your heart map, right? It's got all these different topics on it that you know a lot about, right? Things that you wrote stories about because they were important in your heart. Well, sometimes what you can do is you can take things from your heart map because those are topics that you can tell stories about because you know a lot about them, but they're also topics you could probably teach people about. Okay. So, what you could do is you can use that to get ideas for what you can write a teaching book about. So, let's take a look. Like, these are some of the things on my heart map. This heart map isn't even finished, but some of the things that are on my heart map, I could ask myself, could I write a teaching book about it or an informational book about it? So, on my heart map, I've got, let's see, I've got my family, which I could technically write an information book about that, So I'm going to put that, I'm going to put my family. This list is things I know a lot about. Things I know a lot about. Um, in my heart map, I also have teaching. I could teach some people about being teachers. So I could put teaching, right? What else could go on there? I know a lot about, let's see, I know a lot about Australia because I went to Australia and I did a lot of reading about Australia. So I could write a lot about Australia because I could say a lot about the way Australia looks and the kinds of animals that live in Australia and different cities in Australia and what the people are like. So I could do that. I could also do, I could do a teaching book that's all about, I have dogs on my list, on my heart. I think I could do that. I could write all about dogs because I could write about different kinds of dogs and how to take care of a dog and how, like, what a dog eats and stuff like that. So, do you see what I'm doing? So, sometimes you can use things that you did when you were writing stories to come up with ways that you can write informational books. Okay, so why don't you try that? Why don't you think about things that you know a lot about, maybe things that you wrote stories about, and see if you could turn those into information topics? Okay, try that out, and I'll see you next time.